Okay, so Genshin Impact has given us our first crossover character in the form of Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. Not sure if I said her name right. If I didn't, my apologies. Didn't really play that game, and it's not because of any other reason than I don't have a PlayStation. And this is a PlayStation exclusive. The point is, this is huge for Genshin Impact, showing that they are open to bringing in other characters from other games, and let's be quite frank, bigger franchises, because Zero Dawn has been around and it was up for like Game of the Year. Can't remember if it won, didn't watch the awards. But the fact of the matter is, now that they're doing this, what other characters could be lined up for Genshin Impact? And that got me thinking, who else could fit? Who would be a great crossover character? After giving it some thought, I have a few ideas. Doesn't mean it's actually going to happen, of course. I don't work for MiHoYo. But hey, there are a few ideas, and if somehow one of them comes true, if me and one of the people in the development room of MiHoYo are on the same wavelength, then that would turn out to be awesome. And then I'll get to make a video talking about totally called it. But, doubtful that will happen. But it'll be so cool if it did, though. Anyway, let's get on with it. These are the characters that I think will be awesome in Genshin Impact. Now, when thinking about Genshin Impact, the first thing I thought of is that we need a badass in Genshin Impact. Now, it's not to say that we don't have it. We've got our Chads with Teyvat, and we've got people that they just put up on a pedestal. We've got a character that do crazy damage, but who's someone who personifies all that? When I look at people like Diluc and Zhongli, who would be somebody that you could say he is the granddaddy of them all in that respect? And there's only one man who comes to mind when I think of that, and that is Dante from Devil May Cry. I mean, you know damn well who I'm talking about here. This is Dante, the man's man of gaming. The guy who talks trash, kicks ass, slaps around demons with a smile on his face the entire time. And he is fit for it. His main weapon is a claymore. We already have Fire Claymore Diluc, and so I would say make him Electric Claymore. I know we have Beto, but the game is showing that they can give us the same character with the same weapon, same element and all that other stuff, but still make them different. In terms of what he could do, of course his burst would have to be his double trigger. And you could tweak that up and give it crazy electric burst damage and everything. And then what would his skill be? I'm thinking anything that involves him swinging his sword super fast. He has a whole bunch of crazy sword skills, and you can use any one of the more dramatic ones and make it a skill. Like, you have to pick a litter. He has so many. Just watch his games. Watch the gameplay. It's there. It's freaking Dante. Alright? He should be a character he should cameo in almost everything, in my opinion. He's freaking Dante, okay? Dante for Genshin Impact. Alright? Now, moving on. Now, next up on the list, any game where I say Dante would be a good fit, I would also say Bayonetta would be a good fit, because Bayonetta is basically the woman version of Dante through and through. The gameplay, the style, all that other stuff, they get compared to each other all the time. Although, she doesn't wield a claymore, she wields a whole bunch of guns, but considering we don't really have guns as a weapon class in Genshin Impact, we would have to go with her secondary weapon, her katana. That would be a great choice for her. It would allow her to fit in the game and do some crazy sword skills. And I feel that she should be fire, because we are lacking a fire sword DPS in Genshin Impact. So I think that would fit. Fire sword DPS Bayonetta crossover. Make it happen. Alright, come on MiHoYo. Come on now. Make it happen. Okay, next, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room here. Legend of Zelda. Now, we all know that the mechanics in the game were pretty much inspired by Breath of the Wild. The early stages of Genshin Impact were heavily influenced by Breath of the Wild, and as I've said before, there's nothing wrong with that. It was a phenomenal game, and if you're gonna build your building blocks off of any other franchise, you can't really go wrong with one of the Legend of Zelda games, especially one of the newest ones that's considered a masterpiece by so many. But because of that, there's a lot of people who would love to see Link or Zelda in Genshin Impact. And I've got to say, I don't really want to see that. It's not to hate any of them. Anybody who knows me knows that Legend of Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time. I grew up with it. Second game that I ever owned on the original Nintendo, mind you. That's how long I've been gaming. Alright, so my reason for not wanting them in there is because they're all over the place. Link, Zelda, Ganon, they already have enough shine. There is another character within the world of Zelda that needs some attention, that needs some love, and that would be perfect as a crossover character in Genshin Impact. And that character is Impa. More specifically, Hyrule Warriors Classic Impa. Now she'll be perfect for it. She is definitely a character that would fill out a class that is missing in Genshin Impact. A water claymore user. Or you can also flip it around to her alternate weapon from Hyrule Warriors, her spear, which normally is a fire spear, but I wouldn't mind you switching it to water just to, round it out as well. But water claymore, she has plenty of moves that you can draw from Hyrule Warriors. Plenty of them are very dramatic that you can round about to make her skill and her burst, and she would just fit with the game. You could write the story of her entering that world however you want. The guys at Nintendo are creative with stuff like that, and with MiHoYo has proved that they can write pretty decent stories as well. Inazuma has proved to be very, very good, and so I don't see any issue with them writing a crossover story that would include Impa into the world of Genshin Impact. Maybe even as an emissary of Hyrule, who knows? Just make it happen. She would fit. Now next up is a character that many of you may not even heard of. Even when I was streaming this game at one point, nobody really heard of this. There was a few people like, oh, I remember this game. It was actually really fun. But a lot of people were like, hey, what's this? So this main character, you probably don't know, but if you do, kudos to you. And that character is Oliver. Oliver from Ni no Kuni. Now, why do I pick him as being a candidate from Genshin Impact? Because he will fill out a couple of things that we are missing. One, he will be the first child boy character, which is something that's missing. We have 4 kid characters within the world of Genshin Impact as it is right now, and all of them are female, and all of them are adorable, but if we keep on adding more like that, it's going to become oversaturated, and we're going to start to not care, and even at some point start to hate it because it'll be too much. So to start running it out, I say for the first male boy character, we put in Oliver. He'd be a Catalyst user. You can make him whatever you want, but I would say Catalyst Ice because that's something else missing from Genshin Impact. He's a well-rounded wizard and can use whatever element he pleases in his original canon game, so whatever element you stick to him won't be stepping out of any sort of boundaries. So I would say first male boy character and first Ice Catalyst user all roll up into one. Oliver for Genshin Impact. Make it happen. The next character I'm going to talk about is one that I feel deserves to be in Genshin Impact only for personal reasons, only because I personally love this character. So yeah, this is a very biased pick for me, but I don't care. I'm picking her anyway. And my pick is Shantae for Genshin Impact. I absolutely love the Shantae games, and I feel like she needs to get more love in the gaming industry altogether. She is a powerful half genie wizard, and she can use all kinds of spells. You can make her a fire catalyst user since that's one of the things that she does the most. You can have her burst be in any one of her powerful transformation, although I would choose the elephant because his just rush attack is absolutely bonkers. But I know what all of you are thinking. We don't need another fire catalyst user. We have enough. And you know what? I'll agree with you there. So here's a second proposal. I have been hearing a lot of people say that they want to see a physical catalyst user, someone who uses magic to use physical objects and not in the same sense of Ning Young using earth magic. And I have the perfect solution, Shantae. She has the perfect skill for that. Her Shimikar skill. A bunch of blades spinning around her and they just keep going until she runs out of magic. You could definitely put a cooldown on that and a set time for it to go into its intervals and have her running around slicing through enemies and combo that with ice, freezing effects, superconduct, all of that. It would be awesome. Shantae for Genshin Impact. Make it happen, miHoYo. And finally, this pick is because I think this guy, just like Dante, would blow up the internet. He would cause such an uproar. There would be so many people cheering and so many people full of rage behind this decision that it would just make me smile on both ends. And that character is none other than Shovel Knight. I know, right? He would be a perfect polearm user. The first one to have a polearm shovel. You think I'm insane? That's not a new thing. Shovel spears is actually a thing that has been historically used by monks in China. It is not going out of the way. Considering miHoYo is a Chinese company, they should be familiar with that historical fact. In fact, I bet they are. I bet they're just looking for someone to make a shovel polearm user. And Shovel Knight would be just the guy. Throw him in there. His skills would be absolutely crazy. Imagine his main skill is doing exactly what Xiao does. Make him a better Xiao. Make him a better plunge attack user, and it would be hilariously fun. Imagine him and Xiao fighting together in domains. Double plunge attacks all over the place. I would love it. Make it happen, miHoYo. Make it happen. Shovel Knight for Genshin Impact. Alright guys, there's other characters I can think of that could probably fit, but we're gonna end it right there. So what were your thoughts on my picks, and who would you choose as a crossover character that you would love to see in Genshin Impact? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out my other social media, my Twitch and my TikTok and everything else, and I will see you guys later. So till next time, I'm out of here.